So Zelensky challenges Putin to meet him in person for peace talks. Just as Trump suggested, Ukrainian President Zelensky challenged Putin to meet him in person for peace talks in Istanbul with his advisor, Mikhailo Podolyak, stating President Zelensky will not meet with any other Russian representative in Istanbul except for Putin as a sign Russia is ready to end its invasion. This followed President Trump's suggestion, who said talks are being held in Turkey later this week, probably on Thursday, and they could produce some pretty good results. The Kremlin has not confirmed Putin's attendance at the Thursday meeting, which is today, which he proposed after Western threats of sanctions of 30 days. Ceasefire was not agreed upon, with the Institute for the Study of War noting Russia foreign officials claim a sit-down would be pure spectacle. U.S. envoys Steve Witkoff and Keith Kellogg and Secretary of State Marco Rubio will attempt to help end the three-year war, per familiar sources. And then obviously, Rob, if you got the clip, go on and play the clip here.
What happens on Thursday if President Putin doesn't show up in Turkey for the talks with Ukraine? What will you do?
Well, I don't know if he's showing up. I know he would like me to be there. And that's a possibility. If we could end the war, I'd be thinking about that. Now, tomorrow, we're all booked out. You understand that? We're all set.
But you move. He goes.
UAE tomorrow. And so we have a very full situation. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't do it to save a lot of lives and come back. But, yeah, I think they're thinking about something. I don't know that he would be there if I'm not there. We're going to find out. Marco's going. And Marco's been very effective.
Okay, so that's one, Rob. Do you have the other clip as well? The other clip about Ukraine and Russia can't even agree on who will meet for peace talks from the Wall Street Journal?
I have Fox News reporting on it. This, I believe, broke late last night, where it was announced that Putin will not be traveling.
Okay, go ahead and play this clip.
President Trump and his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, will not attend tomorrow's peace talks between Kyiv and Moscow. That after learning that Putin was not on the list of attendees. A U.S. official said once we learned that, they took the president off the possible list of attendees as well. As for Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, well, he's on his way to Turkey. He earlier said he'd only take part in talks if Putin was present. President Trump, for his part, wants the two sides to sign a 30-day ceasefire deal. We'll see if...
Okay, so here's my question for you. Was Trump supposed to be there with Putin being there, or did Putin find out President Trump's not going to be there, so he backed out? Which one is it, Rob? Tom, do you know?
No, I don't.
That's the main question. Because to me, Adam, do you know or no? Do you know what the question I just asked? So I just asked the following question. Yeah. So did Putin decide not to go because he found out the president is not fully committed to being there? Or did Putin last minute know that the president was going to be there and then all of a sudden canceled and said, I'm not going? And then the President Trump said, also, I'm also canceling, I'm not going.
No, I think it's pretty clear, in my opinion, that this comes down to one person, Putin not showing up. You're telling me that if Putin agreed to show up, Trump would move everything in his schedule to get to, I think, Istanbul in this case. He's in the Middle East already. This comes down to Putin. And then what did Zelensky say?
Why wouldn't Putin not show up?
Because he's not willing to come to the table.
Why not, though?
Because clearly he's not willing to end this war.
No. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It can't just
What
be
do you
that.
think it is?
No, it's deeper than that, because I think Putin is... You can have 5 different bosses and have to negotiate with each of them in 5 different ways. You don't negotiate with each one the same exact way as you negotiate with the other one. If there's anybody that knows this, guess who this is? Trump knows this, 100%. I guarantee he already is thinking about what ways to do. Something is not adding up. His request was what? What was his request? His request is to some sort of a guarantee that they're not going to be going into NATO, right? That's one. There's a couple requests that Putin made. I'm not sure if those requests are being met. And also, I'm not sure if he is convinced that Zelensky is not going to use that moment to make a spectacle the way he did with Trump. And if Zelensky is going to act hardcore on the camera the way he did with Trump to go back and show his people strength, yeah, I don't. And by the way, remember, Putin is not one. Have you ever seen Putin animated speaking?
No.
Matter of fact, go on YouTube, Rob, type in Putin speaking animated. Just type in Putin speaking animated. Have you ever seen him speaking in a very animated way?
He's very
Never. You've heard others do that. Everything else is a meme. Go a little bit lower, Rob. Go a little bit lower, Rob. Keep going lower slowly. See, everything is a meme. There is no such thing as him speaking. And matter of fact, go to the one that says 1.8 million, Rob. Let's see what that, all the way to the right. All the way to the right. Let's see how he speaks there. Can you put some audio? I don't even want to know what he's saying. I just want to hear his tone. This is the most animated you'll see. Go back to the 4.5 million or the 5.4 million. There's one clip that was 5.4 million. Go a little bit lower, not those. Go lower, 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 right there. That one that says 4.3 million. Click on that one. That's the most animated you'll see him. Okay.
Former
Have you ever
KGB.
seen him in a room forcing the business owner to sign? You ever seen him it says
Oh, yeah,
take
I
the pen
love
and
that.
sign?
He goes, come here and give
Have
me
you
back my
seen,
pen.
Putin forces guy to sign, forces guy to sign. And even if you see the way he does this, is this it, Rob?
Yeah, that's it. That's it, the top one.
Is it the top
Yep.
one?
Yep.
Okay.
And there's audio
yeah, that's
on
the
it,
one.
too.
Click on it
Yeah.
and go closer to, I think it's like midway, where he forces the guy to sign. I think if I'm Putin, yeah, go right there. He says, well, do it without you. And the business owner
That's
is
a
like, what are you
billionaire, by the
talking
way.
about?
That's a billionaire.
Oleg Deripaska sign an undertaking to
He
restart
says, come here,
factories.
sign.
Вы подписали этот договор? Да. А Олег Владимирович подписал? Что я не вижу вашей подписи? Идите сюда, подпишите. Идите ко мне.
Easy sit.
Billionaire. Come here.
Watch this.
Да, договор.
Here's agreement. Everyone's watching.
Give me my
signed.
pen. Give me my pen.
Ручку мне.
Give me back my pen.
Strong arm.
Classic Putin.
So you can pause it right here.
What did you do to that guy right there?
but let me tell you.
Took over his company?
No, he
made
didn't
him
take
start
over
the
the company. There was something he was doing that was not good for the employees, and he was taking. There was some sort of an
Shady.
abuse that
Yeah.
was going on where he
Yeah.
was kind of putting him in his place. But let me just make my point
Yeah.
here. When you're a wiring like that, you have to make sure the other person understands the level of respect he wants from you if you're going to face him. And to me, Zelensky hasn't shown that he's capable of doing that. I think he trusts Trump because he sees Trump as an equal. I think he sees Zelensky as a way over his head type of guy.
Papa, he was put there.
Yeah, and
I fully agree with you on that.
and I think that's the reason why he doesn't want to go there. If you have the private conversations together, again, guys, this is pure
Speculation, in your opinion.
my opinion, and I'm telling you this, my opinion. I think if there was a call that they had, and by the way, you know what else it is? You can't say this to Trump. So I can't even say that to you that, hey, if he acts like that, I almost think Trump needs to be proactive to tell him, hey, if he acts like that, I'm going to put him in his place. You don't need to say anything. And he needs to get that reassurance that Zelensky doesn't do a photo op bullshit that he did last time when he was in the White House. And that message would come from me if I'm Trump. And I'm going to call Zelensky and I'm going to say, listen, let me tell you what's going to happen here. I swear to God, if you try to make it into a spectacle, you're not going to like what I'm going to do to you.
Good.
But if you're going to be respectful and you want your people to live and no more dying, I need you to behave accordingly. Don't use this as a photo op the way you did in the White House. It's going to be very bad for you. I think the president needs to call Zelensky. Then he needs to call Putin to say, I had the call with Zelensky. You don't have to worry about that. Let's come at the table together and let's figure out a way to do this. I think that'll make the president... that'll make President Putin more open to the idea. Again, I'm just purely speculating. I'm not on the inside. I'm not talking to any of these guys. I'm just giving some of my thoughts here.
I actually fully agree with you. I think if you're talking about bosses and you know Trump is daddy, you're talking like that. Zelensky is the weird sort of coked out stepson, and you're looking at Putin, who's an absolute boss. And I get that he's not our ally at all. I want to be very clear about that. To all the Putin fanatics out there, he's not our ally, but that doesn't mean you can't respect the guy. So, you know, you look at Rob, I sent you something. You look at the video that we just did of Putin, and then you look at this video of Zelensky. You think Putin respects this guy?
I thought that was fake, by the way. That's
No, this is
really
actually a
him.
real video.
Jeez.
You got junk in the trunk right there, Zelensky. So I totally understand why Putin is looking at Zelensky and be like, this is who you want me to respect and negotiate?
I don't even think that's what it is.
Well, that's a part of it.
No,
that video exists.
No, I don't think that's what it is.
But part of it
I
is
don't
this.
think that's what it is.
Part of it is this.
Yeah.
It's not negotiating with Zelensky. Zelensky's a pawn, literally. It's negotiating with Trump and the United States. It's negotiating with NATO. It's negotiating with the EU. The entire world, the democratic Western world, is against Russia. And Russia's just throwing up their middle finger saying, we're not coming to the table. So, they're going to basically have Lil Bro Zelensky show up. And I fully agree with you what you're saying, PBD, is that this better not be a photo op situation. If I leave Moscow and show up, it's to get stuff done, not for some photo op situation, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Tom, did you have any thoughts on this or not really?
Yeah, I mean, look, Zelensky is just Zelensky, and that's not what Putin is all about. Putin is all about, you kept moving NATO toward me, and I told you I didn't want that, and you pushed and you pushed and you pushed, and the neocons among you pushed. Says, if you want to stop this thing, Crimea is mine, the Russian-speaking area of occupation, Donbas and other things, those are Russians, and we're redrawing it. And that everyone says, no, you can't do that, and then we're going to stay at war, because the neocons want to stay at war with Russia. Of course. They want to keep pushing it. They want the war. War is profitable. And there's other things going on with, on the corruption scoreboard. Ukraine was listed 5 years ago as the most corrupt country in Europe.
Weird.
In terms of everything from trade deals to industry
Ukraine
kickbacks.
is?
Yeah.
Ukraine is
Yeah,
horrible.
behind one other country, though. Russia.
Yep.
Russia, number one corrupt. Ukraine, number two.
I
Good
like.
point.
Correct. And
Just
so
Kasich.
now you've got the two most corrupt guys going together, and Putin calls this off, but he gets Crimea, he gets the Russian-speaking area occupation, and Ukraine doesn't go to NATO. And if that happens, this is over tomorrow. Is that the right answer? I don't know. But if that happens tomorrow, then you have this. And Zelensky, I just don't think, when they have peace, what happens to Zelensky the next election?
He's gone.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I never
So
wanna
this is
see that
his
guy again.
this is his career move. Zelensky needs the war to keep relevant, and he doesn't care how many people in his own country are dying.
Yeah.
And he would
doesn't.
rather have peace talks in Colombia, right? So there's things we understand.
So you think there's a part of Zelensky that actually doesn't want to stop the war and just wants to stay in power?
Absolutely.
I think
and
so.
he's got alignment with the military-industrial complex
yeah.
of the West, who love it that their own
If
governments
that is
print money.
his state
and-
of mind, then that is the worst thing that I've ever heard.
Well,
And I'm not denying it. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying, if he actually wants to keep the war going,
Yeah.
so he can stay in power, that is the definition of a piece of shit.
But Adam, exactly. But here's the thing, Adam. Look
saying
at for the past 4 years what they did, bro. They did a montage of him at the Oscars, and they made this guy so big and so popular because of the money laundering situation that's happening over there. You don't think that he wants a Democrat? By the way, you know why he's hanging in there? Because he wants the next president of this country to be a Democrat. Because when's the last time he came here and begged for money and we gave him $1? We're not giving him shit.
Well, we just
Trump
did
isn't
the
giving
mineral
him
deal with Trump.
No,
That
it's a
was the
mineral.
whole
It's a
concept.
mineral deal. But hold on, we just gave them $250 billion. What did we get in return?
I
You know what I mean?
I think
break.
I think listen, when you meet with a killer, and I don't mean literally like killer
Like Tom.
No, when you meet with a killer in business and killers sit down and I'll never forget. I met with another guy in business and insurance that it was full on war. And Adam, you even knew about this at the time. If you remember, we're at the Boca Raton one time where some of the incidents were taking place.
Yep.
That Bob had to get involved, and Tom clearly remembers about this. I remember our first meeting where we met. It was respect. He says, listen, man, let me tell you how I am. I'm the type of guy that if we got a problem, let's go hash it out together in the back. I said, perfect. I'm like that as well. What do you want to do? Do you know today how close we are? Mm-hmm. Do you know if he calls me and we speak, straight up on the same page? He's not a game guy. Now, another guy in business back in the days who was such a manipulative, deceptive game guy, He called the last 50 phone calls. He's called me. I have no interest to talk to him. You know why? Because he's full of shit is what he is. So in this instance, if somebody was to broker a deal for us to meet and I'm supposed to have that guy be there, I don't believe him. He's a liar. He's a manipulator. He's deceptive. Great speaker, very talented, but he's a very deceptive manipulator. Nothing that ever came out of his mouth, he ever kept his word. The other guy who's a bigger boss, whatever came out of his mouth, he kept his word. So if it's like, I'm going to kill you, I believe you. Oof. Versus the other guy says, oh man, if I had my way of investing $10 million with you, I would have. He's so full of shit. I don't believe any flattery that came from this guy. I take this other guy for, so to me in this case, Zelensky is not a guy that he believes he will keep his word for anything. And I think he believes Trump. So I think this is a real deal that Trump and Putin need to work out, and I think they will, because both of them are tough guys. They're going to figure it out. But after the minerals deal being signed, Trump probably also made a promise to Zelensky that we don't know about that protects Zelensky. I don't know what that is that he thinks he's going to get for them. And then Putin may be like, why are you making a promise to him before talking to me? And that may be a problem, because that one thing that Trump may be asking for Putin to discount for Zelensky, Putin's like, why are you negotiating on my behalf with Zelensky? So I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Sometimes power players don't like it when another power player negotiates on their behalf without them confirming it. I never said yes to that. Why'd you do that? I would never agree to that. Well, da-da-da-da-da. So, hey, let's do it for the people. I don't know. This is very complex, that I think 90% of this is the conversations that are being behind closed doors that nobody in the world knows about except the people that are there involved in politics.
Well, as you guys know, in 2 weeks, Monday is at the 26th is Memorial Day. And, everybody, and I get it. It's time off, barbecues, we get to hang out, we get to drink. I mean, I'm not drinking, but, it is, that day isn't all about that. It's remembering the brave men and women who fought and fell to give us every single freedom, every single right that we have. And at Valuetainment, we don't take that freedom lightly. We know it's brought with blood and encouraged. So we got something on Memorial Day. We have a Memorial Day collection right here. We have the hats, Army, Navy, what else? Air Force. We got it all. So if you guys want to go to that section, and as the video is playing, we have a, if you purchase anything in a Memorial Day package, you get a sticker pack of every single branch, and you get a free American flag keychain. If you go to vtmerch.com, that's where it's going to be.
Go to vtmerch.com and place your order, folks. And if it isn't for you, if you know somebody that has or served in the military, send it to them. On top of that, Rob, did I send you that picture? This puts the biggest smile on my face. This is one of the best things about the Future Looks Bright brand is you get to put a smile on somebody else's face. Here's somebody that bought the lemon campaign that we did, Zest It Forward, and send it to someone, and look what it says here. I love that smile. Mother's Day can feel different when the kids are grown and the nest is empty, but your journey as a mom doesn't end. It just evolves along with you. Let's take a moment to celebrate strength, wisdom, sense of humor, and the love of the empty nester moms who continue to nurture, support, and inspire even from afar. We deserve to be acknowledged and celebrated every day. How awesome is that? And look at the smile she's got there, Rob. If you want to go to the next pages, she got the box, she got the card, she got the video, she got the hat. So if you're somebody that's saying, I was never in the military, but make a list of a handful of people, make their day, send something to them, put a smile on their faces. Sometimes we just need to, one of the ways to cheer yourself up is make somebody else's day. It's always been my way of doing it. If I'm in a bad mood, I'm like, let me find a way to make somebody else's day. I feel better about it. So go place an order, Zest It Forward, make someone's day by visiting vtmerch.com. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.